I'm Kafense Mandisa from the Marsh McLennan Agency. And here at the Marsh McLennan Agency, we have released our insurance market rate report for the fourth quarter of 2023. And to help you strategize at your next renewal, we will summarize the information in this report in the next few minutes. All right, so let's jump right into the Q4 2023 insurance market rate report. So what you see here on your screen is the insurance market rate, overall market rate for the US and globally. So the dark green line is for the US and the light green line is globally for the whole world. But we're really going to focus on this dark green line, which is only for the US. And you see it by quarter. It's year over year rate changes, but it's by quarters. So the last quarter information that we have is for Q4 2023. And we see that we have seen a 3% increase here in the US overall amongst all insurance rates. Well, how does that break down by coverage line? Well, here what you see here is the property rate changes year over year for the quarters. So for property for Q4 2023, we have seen an 11% property increase on rates. I would say that's an average increase. But if you have any claims or had, any type of risk exposures that it makes it a little bit more risk averse than the average, then you may see a little bit more than 11% increases. But that is the average there. So we're really getting hit hard on property renewals, I would say. Just anecdotally, I've seen it myself, and I've talked to others in the market, and that's what we're all seeing. That property is a tough market right now. But let's go over to casualty. So for casualty, we have seen a 3% increase in all the casualty rates. But what does that include? Casualty includes auto, and we have seen a 7 to 20% increase in auto rates. I will say if you have a relatively clean auto, I would say it's tough to have clean auto loss runs, but you have relatively average amount of losses. I'm seeing anywhere between 8 to 10%. Anecdotally, that's what I'm seeing myself. General liability rates, 1 to 3%. That's also what I'm seeing, a slight increase. Umbrella rates, now I have seen higher umbrella rates as this graph is showing. It says 5 to 10%. I would say on the average, anecdotally, I see about 7 to 8% increases in umbrella. But the workers' compensation, that's a whole different story. The workers' compensation is actually bringing down the average rate for casualty because we're seeing a decrease in about 2 to 6%. But even more, though, in some cases, if you have a good experience mod and great loss history, I'm seeing anywhere maybe to 8 to 10% decreases in workers' compensation rates. Let's go over to management practices. This is the last thing we're going to go over. So for management practices, this includes your directors and officers, EPLI, employment practice liability insurance, fiduciary, crime, and errors and omissions. Overall, you'll see for the fourth quarter of 2023, we saw a 6% decrease in management practices rates, which is great. And overall, that goes across all of those management practice coverage lines went over. They're pretty much stable, if not a slight decrease. So to help you at your next renewal, and what I'm advising my clients to do is to really aggressively market your management practices coverages and your workers' compensation because it's a soft market. You're already seeing decreases there, and you may be able to get more if you aggressively market those coverages. And to do that, what you're doing is maybe offsetting the property increases, the general liability increases, and the umbrella increases, because you're going to get increases there no matter what. Even if it's a clean loss history, I mean, you're doing everything perfectly, you're still going to see some increases. So we can offset some of those increases on that hard market coverages with some of those other coverages that the market is pretty soft. You may be able to come out hopefully flat or maybe even a net negative. If you have any questions on how to market your next renewal and how to strategize that, or just want to go over more of this insurance market rate report, please don't hesitate to contact me and stay safe.